YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. Today we got the Kansas City Chiefs record predictions, going game by game, giving you my prediction, circling back and doing best case and worst case like we're doing for every single NFL team. So here we are starting the AFC West. Then we'll go on to the NFC West, and then we'll have our playoff predictions, Super Bowl predictions, and more here. Some player rankings in the near future, so excited about that. So join us for all that. Like, subscribe, follow our Twitter. Very important. You guys are voting for division winners, basically creating a playoff field along the way and making your own predictions. So check that out. And then for this video, playoffpredictors.com, as always, check it out. Make your own predictions. The Chiefs, you could definitely argue, maybe the best team in football. They were my Super Bowl pick last year. I had them beating the Bucs, very close. Obviously, the Bucs ended up beating the Chiefs. The year before, I had the Chiefs winning when they did. So we'll see if I go 3 years straight picking the Chiefs to win. We'll find out when we get to the playoff predictions. But what I like, there's actually something I'm a little scared about with this team. I'm not super scared, but something that I think could get better. But first, what I really like is you look at the Super Bowl, big problem was the offensive line really being beat up. It was a backup offensive lineman, guys changing positions almost, even though they're familiar with playing those spots. Look at Remmers, who played, was kind of moved to a guard for Chiefs, but then had to move back to tackle. Wasn't ideal. So not only do they get healthy, but they actually get a lot better across the offensive line, mainly with guys like Joe Thuney and Orlando Brown, but they get healthy on top of it. And they got some young guys that also can continue to develop, improve. So I do love that. And what else do I love about it? What people aren't really realizing, it's going to improve the run game. It's actually going to improve the run game. They got some good, solid run blockers in there. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's a fantastic back, going into second year, learning more, he'll also improve, but he'll improve because his offensive line. And if you can run the ball more effectively, that makes things easier for the quarterback for the passing game, which Mahomes doesn't really need, but it's a bonus. It's a bonus. That's what I love there. What I don't really love, it felt like also in that Super Bowl, even down the stretch, some big games, the receivers actually were letting Mahomes down a little bit. It was kind of on Kelsey and Hill. Those guys really, really had to carry. I know Watkins was either out or playing hurt, but he's gone anyways. So somebody needs to step up. The Buccaneers had a corner on Tyreek Hill. They had somebody over the top, and they were like, hey, Kelsey's probably going to play a pretty good game, but we're going to make him beat us all by himself. We're going to play well on both sides of the ball. So that could be more teams' game plan there, So, again, I do like a guy like Cornell Powell, who's a rookie, could actually step up. But I would like for them to get another number one receiver. It would be ideal there for them. And some people worry about the edge rush opposite of Frank Clark. They're going to get unique with Jarran Reed and Chris Jones. I think Jarran Reed's extremely underrated. They have Derek Nottie inside as well. So I'm not really worried about that. But to the predictions, Browns-Chiefs should be a heck of a ball game right off the bat. It was a heck of a playoff game last year. I know Mahomes went down, still an entertaining game. The Browns built this team. They built this team to try to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs. Secondary is really, in my opinion, I think pass rush is more important. But when you already have Myles Garrett, when you're able to add guys like Clowney, and look how teams like the Chiefs, the Bills are beating us. You in that scenario. I think if you make the secondary better, make it have gain more speed back there, you possibly could keep up. Maybe that's the fastest path to competing with them. And that's what they did. So I really liked what they did in their secondary. I liked that they're kind of almost game planning for teams like this in a way. Week 1, I still like the Chiefs at home in week 1. I think it'd be a heck of a ball game, but expecting Mahomes to stay fully healthy this game. Again, it could be a really good ball game. I got the Chiefs beating the Ravens. It's just a really bad matchup for the Ravens. As good as the Ravens are, as good as they can be, it's just a really bad matchup. I talk about it all the time. The Ravens are the best team at running man coverage, at blitzing. It's kind of the two worst things to run against the Chiefs because Mahomes somehow gets better when you blitz him. It's ridiculous. And if you run man coverage against that speed, and when you can't really get pressure on Mahomes because the blitz isn't really working, no cornerback, even the great ones of the Ravens, can cover forever, especially one-on-one man coverage against that speed. So they almost have to change how they play, and that's not Ravens ball. They can still play solid because of the talent they have, but that is the reason it's not a good matchup. Does it mean the Chiefs are guaranteed to win? Absolutely not, but I think they're very likely to win. Chargers-Chiefs, give me the Chiefs. That should be a fun game too. Earlier last year, the Chargers made the Chiefs look a little sloppy, so maybe a better Chargers team now could beat them. Very possible. Chargers are tough to figure out where they'll be early, late in the year, because early they could be better than I think because kind of a tough game plan. You don't really know what to expect fully. Herbert's second year, new coaching staff, but I also think they're, new playbook for Herbert. He's played so well in the old one. Is there an adjustment period? And this team that kind of can really get going as the year goes on. Give me the Chiefs over the Eagles. The Eagles, how they're going to win ball games is their pass rush. Love their pass rush. I don't think it'll be as much of a factor against the Chiefs offense line if it's healthy, of course. Bills, Chiefs, AFC Championship rematch. The difference here, actually, I trust the Chiefs offense a little more, but I trust the Bills defense a little more. So that's why I love this battle so much. I felt like the Chiefs were able to do some things defensively to throw off Josh Allen a little bit. So, yeah, again, love both quarterbacks, obviously, potential elites. I know we fully expect Mahomes to be elite. So that'll be the difference. Also in Kansas City, I'll take the Chiefs. Chiefs versus Washington. Another great one. I mean, Washington front seven, maybe the best in football. Their actual front four, maybe we should say, plus rotation. And they could actually, the Chiefs could be one of the best offense in football. But that's if there's a front that can present problems, it could be that, and they actually could, limit the Chiefs' points that they normally do. I think Washington's offense could be sneaky solid. I just don't think they have enough to keep up with the Chiefs in this game. I think the way the Chiefs' defensive line is going to look, again, we might see Chris Jones, Derek Nottie, and Jaron Reed out there at once. The dominant run-stopping abilities there. Washington does want to run the ball first, so I think Washington has the defense to slow the Chiefs' offense down. They're still going to score points. Can Washington keep up? Chiefs in Tennessee definitely becomes a little more interesting now that the Titans got Julio Jones, because in this game, it's all about the Titans' game plan. Ideal. They want to get the ball first. They want to jam it down your throats, run Derrick Henry all the way to the end zone, run a ton of clock to kind of throw the Chiefs off and limit the clock available and wear them out. And that when that works, it works. We've seen it go 2 years ago in the AFC Championship game. It didn't really work all that well. So do the Titans kind of have something where they have to get out of that? And now they add Julio Jones on top of A.J. Brown. It definitely makes things interesting. So I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I still think the Titans' main game plan is pound Derrick Henry, and it works a lot of times, especially in the regular season. It just really depends on who gets the ball, who scores first in this game. I think chances are the Chiefs make the Titans play keep up, and the Titans are more capable now. It's just very tough. So that's a toss-up, though. We got them rolling. I got them over the Giants. Packers-Chiefs should be a fun one. It should be an absolute shootout. I expect it to be Rodgers, but who the hell knows right now? I think the difference is being in Kansas City. I actually trust the Chiefs to run the ball a little more effective, even though I love the Packers running backs. Again, I think the Chiefs built this to stop the run. The Chiefs built. We talk about the Browns built the secondary to stop the Chiefs and the Bills. The Chiefs look like they're just making that dominant front for run stopping for the Titans and for the Browns. So that's interesting. And the Ravens, how could you forget the Ravens? So I'll go Chiefs in that one. Chiefs-Raiders. Raiders looked pretty damn good offensively against the Chiefs both times where they beat them. Even down the stretch of the shootout, the first shootout game the Raiders won, they actually played you wouldn't know it by the score, but they actually played pretty well on defense later in that game to kind of clutch up, and then the defense is better now. I'm going to take the Raiders, and so the first loss finally comes 9-1. Maybe they slip up and lose one of the games before that. Shootout, Cowboys versus Chiefs, absolute shootout. You worry about the health of the Chiefs offensive line, but you worry about the health all over for the Cowboys, so I do think the Chiefs will be a little more healthy, and I actually trust their defense a little more, so I'll take the Chiefs. Bye week here. Bye week slows them down a little bit. A little bold here. I'm going to go a little bold like I always do here and there. Give me the Broncos. If there's a team, I think the Chiefs will be very good running the ball. I think the Broncos actually, with their wide variety of running backs, could actually maybe throw them off a little bit. It really depends on who's at quarterback here, but I also think the Broncos defense, they can control the clock and on offense, and I think they can, here in 1 out of 2 games, I'm saying. So I am having them actually away games. Chiefs in crunch time there. Trust them definitely a little more. Just going a little bold here. I don't think they get 0-2 by the Raiders. Don't think so, but the Raiders played them pretty well last year. I do think on paper they're better, but will they actually be better? That's kind of the question with the Raiders. And I did have, Thursday night, I think the Chargers will heat up around this time of the year. You would expect, again, I can almost argue they'll start off stronger than they will end up because it's a tough game plan. You don't really know what to expect. And then maybe when teams figure them out. But I still think they're kind of searching for their identity. I think they'll get better as the year goes on. A lot of young players, new coaching staff. I have them beating the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers offense can keep up. Actually, this would be a shootout. And at this time of the year, if healthy, the Bengals offense will really get ripping, just like the Chargers. Give me the Chiefs, though. 14-3 for the Chiefs. 3 divisional losses. I did go a little bold. The Broncos, maybe the Chargers game. The Chargers playing pretty well last year, the first game mainly. But the second game we saw backups, so I'm not counting that one. But they played them pretty well at the end of the day. So I think they can get one. I think the bold one is the Broncos. So best case, I just don't see them. I don't see them only losing one game. I think they'll slip up at times. Maybe they, we'll see. But 15-2, maybe they lose one game is kind of best case. Worst case scenario, I'm not going to change the Ravens. I'll change the Browns game. I'll change maybe the Bills get them this time. I don't really like the matchup for Washington. I think Tennessee gets them. The Packers get them. We're getting too many losses. It's six losses. It's a tough schedule, so you can pick out more, honestly. But I just don't. 11-6 would be the very, very worst. I would even think some kind of bad injury would have to happen for even that, because they're just such a good team, such an explosive team. So back to the actual predictions here. We had 14-3. We had a little bold again with the Broncos game. I think playing them twice. I think maybe the first time around, maybe one of those times, maybe they get a great game plan and defense slow them down enough and they control the clock with which I think is going to be a dominant running game. But again, the Chiefs are going to be very good at stopping the run, but I think they're not going to dominate stopping the run every single week. Again, just getting a little bold there, but love me the Chiefs, what they did. Yeah, perfect scenario, and they added another number 1 receiver. Everyone probably would, though, But yeah, I'm excited to see, Bashaud Breeland gone, L'Jarius Sneed, and then you got Ward and you got Felton. Those guys are Fenton. Those guys stepping up. And we'll see how they are, because they're still young. They kind of had their inconsistent moments. So could that? And they were beyond impressive. They were way over expectations. But you start to think, could that be maybe the problem of the defense? Could they, teams try to attack that, quick in plays? So some things you wonder a little bit. Mainly, did the Bucs kind of expose? Did they get a game plan figured out? I think they did. That was the perfect game plan. It may have shown other teams. I don't think they're absolutely exposed. I don't think all these teams are going to have success against it. It's easier said than done, one of those things. But I guess it's something it's kind of a storyline here, so we'll see. But that's going to do it for the Chiefs video. We got the Raiders next, and then we got Chargers, Broncos, then on to the NFC West, and we're finally done. Again, a playlist of all these on the channel. Bunch of other videos, a lot more to come. Really excited what we got coming here in the future here at the Goat House. So join us, like, subscribe. Make sure you follow that Twitter. Very, very important. Link down below for that. It's going to do it, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.